All right, we have Congresswoman Salazar on.
Yes, we do. Joining us is Congresswoman María Salazar from the great state of Florida. Congresswoman, are you there in Florida right now?
Yes, I am. I'm in Miami, right in my district, very close to where the storm is going to be passing by. But unfortunately, we're not going to be in the eye of it.
Thank goodness.
You know, we were just talking on the air right now. If FEMA doesn't have enough money for last week's storm, what's going to happen with you guys in Florida?
Well, that's correct. And that is the most worrisome part of this whole thing. You know, John, we are used to hurricanes. You know, we're Floridians, so we have 2 or 3 every year. I lived Andrew in 1992. We just lived Ian last year, and we just had Helene. But the problem, we're not used to not having funds from FEMA. That's a very big problem.
And the other report that Rita just had was the fact that FEMA is giving the money to where they want to give it to, not necessarily treating everybody equally.
Well, yes, that's correct, and that is something that we need to look into it. And the fact that the Inspector General said that we have $8 billion remaining plus many other monies from other hurricanes that we didn't have to use those funds for. And how come now Secretary Mayorkas is saying that we don't have the money? You see, we never see that. We have never seen that. FEMA it's bipartisan. It doesn't matter where the storm passed by, who is going to be needing it, whether independents or Republicans or Democrats. How could this be happening at the federal level? And it's just one more issue, one more example of the very bad administration from the Biden-Harris camp. It's all coming up to light, and it's very good because the average voter will see what type of federal government they have under Harris.
By the way, the 5 o'clock report, the good news is it was down to 115 to 120 miles an hour.
That's good.
Yeah, it went from a Category 4 to now a Category 3, which is good. So that's, Congresswoman, would you support also, as we were just talking here with John about the question of funds, would you support a number of GOP members have come out in the last hour or so asking for an audit, saying there should be an audit, a federal audit of FEMA to know where the money is going and what's sitting there and what they're really using the money on?
Sure. We should have audits on every single taxpayer money, whether it's from FEMA or whether it's Homeland Security or any other department that it's being funded by the guy who is listening to me, by the taxpayers. But in this case, we need to see where the money went to. Is it true that it went to help right there where you guys are in New York City and Chicago and Pennsylvania, in the blue states, to shelter and to feed and to help the people who came in through the southern border? That's something that we have never seen either. I mean, the southern border is open. 10 million people came in.
This has never happened in American history where an organization like FEMA will treat people differently. And the money is there someplace. There's always money. When the President of the United States wants to send money, there's never been a situation where he says, I don't have it.
It's just a question of priorities, John. Yeah. To me, it's priorities.
And, the other thing, Congresswoman, the other thing that I have to tell all our listeners, we may have 1 million listeners out there, and what I want to tell them is in 28 days, 27 days, there's going to be an election. If all the evils that are going on, if you don't vote for the GOP having a majority, guess what? Everything is going to be buried. And that's the biggest danger, that everything that's going on, all the bad things that are going on in our country are just going to be buried.
Oh, I agree. I agree. And that's why I keep on saying to the Hispanics, and that has been my lane. Everyone who's listening to me, whether you're a registered Democrat, it doesn't matter. Don't let them fool you. that Trump is a threat to democracy. No. The threat to democracy is having to pay $10 for eggs or the gas or the fact that they're talking to children about sex in kindergarten. Or that is a threat to democracy, where they don't even want you to speak because you're a conservative. That's a free speech issue. That's the threat to democracy. And that's why I'm saying to the Hispanics who are listening to me, and you have a lot of them in the New York City area, it's time to move parties and give an opportunity to the GOP. The GOP is the party of progress, the one that gives you the opportunity to live a dignified life in the promised land. That's why we're here. My parents came. They're political refugees. It doesn't matter who you are. If you have the voting card in your hand, use it well.
You know, Congresswoman, and you know better than I do, but it seems like there are so many even Hispanics who came to the country legally. I'm a first-generation American, but, you know, when you look at it, they came through the process. There are many Hispanics who really resent the fact that the migrants are being put up in, for example, in New York City, the average hotel room, I saw this the other day, it's $388 a night is what taxpayers are paying. And they're giving $750 to people who lost their homes in North Carolina.
Total money versus to the migrants $388 every day.
Yeah, and that's just for the hotel, John. That's just for the staying at the hotel. Right. That doesn't include the food.
We gotta move on.
I mean, it is incredible. Your thoughts, Congresswoman?
Well, that's why you have to question the intention of the Biden-Harris administration in allowing 10 million people to come in through the southern border in the last 4 years. What was their plan? Why did that happen? That never happened under Clinton, under Obama. Obama and Clinton and many other Democrat presidents secure the border. We do know that we have a major problem with immigration. You know, I wrote the dignity bill, which we can always discuss later because at some point we get to see what we're going to do. But at this point, what we need to do is start deporting people who are from the Tren de Aragua, the Venezuelans who are the transnational criminal organization, the M13, the 2 million gotaways. Who are those people? Chinese spies, members of Hamas. God knows who they are. We're talking about 2 million people that got away. Those are the ones we have to start looking for. So go back to the Democrats who are listening to me, the Hispanics who are registered Democrats. That's fine. You can be registered in any party you want to. But this is a moment where you have to think what's happening to your city and what's happening to your country. And we got to change courses because Hispanics, we have the same values that are entrenched in the Republican Party. At one point, that were also entrenched in the Democratic Party. God-fearing, law-abiding, pro-family, pro-life, pro-small government, small taxes. Yep. So what's happening here? We got to save the country. Regardless of the political party you are registered in.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
perfect ending, right.
Thank you, Congresswoman Salazar, and we hope everything is fine with you, your county, and your family.
That's correct, and the whole country. And we will get through this. We are in the United States where everything is possible.
God bless.
My love to you, and thank you for the opportunity, John.
Thank you. Stay safe.